Hi, everyone, and welcome to A&B Horror Movies. I'm Aaron,
And Ben?
and today we're very excited to be joined by the masterminds behind Mind, Body, Spirit. Welcome, everyone.
Thank
Hello,
you.
mastermind. We'll take it. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, yes. I thought you might like that. So first off, we have Alex Heens. You were the co-writer and co-director. Awesome to have you on.
Thank you.
We also have Sarah J. Bartholomew, who is the lead actress in the film. Welcome, Sarah.
Hello.
And we also had Maddie Brady, who is Kenzie, who is also the lead actress in the film. We can't
Thanks
wait
for
to
coming on.
chat with all of you. Yes. So Ben, why don't I turn it over to you for the first question? If you're not frozen. Oh no. All right. Well,
Really like intense smile.
it was an intense one. Well, while Ben, we wait for Ben to come back.
It was going
Never
so
fails.
well.
Technology never fails. Okay, I'll ask the first question. I guess this is for all of you. How did the film come about?
Sarah, why don't you start us off?
Yes, Ben.
Me first? Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you. Matt and Matt Miranda and I, who's couldn't join us today, he
Too
and
bad.
I were sort of kicking around the idea of making a short horror film about a yoga instructor. We also had sort of like our sights set on making a feature, and around the pandemic, we saw the movie Host on
Yes.
Shudder, which was very much an inspiration for this movie. We were kind of just like, look at what these people are doing in these like small spaces with this very limited budget and a very small cast, and in an hour. I love an hour-long movie. I'm hoping that Host and like Milk and Cereal is going to be like the future of the way we watch movies. I love an hour. It's so much easier to wrap your head around. So we didn't quite get an hour. Our movie's like 85 minutes. So not exactly Lord of the Rings, but not Host either. So we were really inspired by that, and Dan Asma, who produced the film, he was our boss at the time. He owned a company called Buddha Jones that makes movie trailers, predominantly horror trailers. And we had always kicked the idea around of making something together. So it just so happened that I had been sort of stewing on this idea. We sort of went through the pandemic. I was doing even more yoga in my house than normal. And I think being trapped in the house and with yoga with Adrian kind of inspired something. And yeah, all those things sort of came together in this beautiful kismet, and Mind, Body, Spirit was born.
That's excellent. And I forgot to, that's an amazing answer. I forgot to read some of the reviews. So Dread Central says it's a found footage version of Hereditary, and I didn't plan to wear the shirt, so that's a nice coincidence today. And Bloody Disgusting said it's a knockout horror sensation for the live stream era. And lastly, Modern Horror says it's a genuinely scary ride. So for those who haven't seen it, I wanted to make sure to give you guys credit for those amazing reviews and very nice words they said about your film.
Okay, so Aaron, I know you liked this on our Instagram page, but I'd be remiss if I didn't include this Letterboxd review that we got, which says, watched this somewhat drunk and had the worst time. Great movie. 4 stars. 4-star review.
4 stars. I love that. That's nice. You can't make that up, right?
Cannot stop thinking about that review. It's the best review we've ever gotten. So shout out to that person.
And I hope
Aaron
they
always gives me drunken reviews as well.
Yeah.
I try, man. I try. That's amazing. I hope they watched it in the dark, right? Drunk in the dark. I'm terrified.
Yeah, they had the worst time. Great movie, 4 stars. Like, hey man, whatever gets you going.
Yes, I did see that. That's fantastic. Well, Ben, why don't I turn it over to you? You can ask a question now that you're back.
I take it you just asked how it all come about. And
I did. I stole your moment.
I kind of missed some of that. So my question would be for Sarah. What was it like, basically, the whole of the movie, filming on your own? And I don't want to give anything away. Yeah, so I'll just leave it at that, actually, because I don't want to give any spoilers.
What was it like filming alone?
Yeah, basically on your own for the whole
Yeah.
being the character, really.
Well, Matt and Alex were beautiful support system, so I never felt totally alone. And when Maddie and Varasha came in, or Christy, yeah, that was those were little nice like gift special moments to like have somebody else to work off of. But yeah, it was definitely a different kind of challenge for sure. I mean, I grew up studying theater, so the long form like memorizing was definitely in my body, but I hadn't done it like that in a long time. So it was kind of like reinvigorating those parts of my training and like how I grew up. But yeah, no, mind body spirit was definitely like the biggest challenge in film work that I've ever had, primarily because of that, like just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually exhausting because of it just being like me working with my own body and all of that. And I was lucky to have the tools that I have to really like prep myself. And again, like Matt and Alex, we really had a system of how and where I was supposed to be with oh my God, Anya just was about to say Maddie, Kenzie, I forgot her name. Yeah, so it was just, yeah, we had a really nice system of, yeah, building up those tools for me and where I was supposed to be, when I was supposed to be there and all of that. And it was cool. It was a really nourishing challenge. Like learned a lot about what I need personally on set. Yeah, it was cool.
Did it
Excellent.
take any? Did you have to sort of do any extra prep? Because obviously you can talk to somebody like you'd be talking to us now, and then you could go off and do a scene on your own. Did you have to get into a bit more of a mental state to say, right, I've just got to take it as it is, just me now? Because I could go and talk to you guys now and walk off and go to talk, and I'd still talk like I was talking to somebody. If
But
that
to
makes sense.
yourself.
Yeah, mentally preparation, basically. Yeah.
I think I'm mentally prepared for like mentally and physically prepared like before every scene, which I
Okay.
think was actually the nice part about it just being me in certain moments because it was
Yeah.
like if there was nobody else that could be ready. I mean, obviously the crew and everything, but if I wasn't ready, it was like, okay, I'm not making like another actor wait. I think that felt a little relieving to just be like, I need 10 more minutes to get my back ready for this bridge. I need like 20 more minutes to get like emotionally psyched. There was one moment where like me, Matt, and Alex danced like and booty popped to Lizzo before the scene to really get myself like hyped up for like just feeling a little insane. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was because like, every scene, like obviously she's just talking to the camera, but she's kind of in a slow like decline or incline, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yes.
So it was kind of like I needed to put my body and brain in a different space before every talking to the camera moment because you didn't want it to feel the same every time. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the decline, and I'm sure there was some makeup effects involved. Did you do anything off screen because you definitely physically look like you're starting to deteriorate? Did you deprive yourself of sleep or anything extreme like that, or just good acting?
She deprived herself of meat for several years
Meat
beforehand to prepare for the
10
role.
years. Yeah.
for 10 years.
Yeah, unfortunately I was vegan for 10 years. Sorry, no judgment, no shame, but I'm no longer
Sure.
vegan, thank God.
Was it because of the movie? Did the movie change your mind? I'm just kidding.
No, no, a little bit, maybe. No, but honestly, my body was not in a good space during that time, and it really worked for Anya. Yeah,
Okay.
I was very malnourished, and I was going through an autoimmune flare-up, and I was in a lot of pain, and it really worked.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm sorry to hear
Don't
that,
have
but
it.
No, it's fine. It's so okay.
it was a win then.
I don't know.
Look at her now.
uh,
She's glowing because we broke her down and then we built her
exactly.
back up.
Literally.
When she moved off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then I left, and then I left LA. I was like,
She had so
Look.
much fun on the movie that she fell apart and left LA. It was such a healthy experience.
you know, it's interesting though, like Maddie and I were at the Oklahoma Film Festival for this film. Maddie, I think you know what I'm about to say, but I was like a lot thinner then, not intentionally for the film. I just was, and not in a way that was like intentional or anything. My body was just in a space where it was, and this man came up to me. He's like, "Whoa, you've gained so much weight since you shot this movie. Like, did you do that? Was that method?"
Was that intentional?
And Maddie was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I am okay because I actually now in my life find that to be actually a compliment. But like, bro, you gotta check. You don't know that.
Yeah,
You don't
also
know that.
the audacity of someone to walk up
To
and be like,
say
wow,
something like that.
your body looks different than it did
Yeah,
that you filmed 2 years ago.
yeah. And I was
First of
like,
all,
actually, like, yes, that is a positive thing now. But like, if you said that to me 10 years ago, I would have like crumbled inside.
Oh,
Well, for the
that's
record,
so
I wasn't thinking anything like that. I was thinking more of like your facial deterioration because you can kind of see it gets darker and darker as the film goes on.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Aldrich Chica,
Aldrich Chica,
our
Aldrich
makeup
Chica. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
king. He killed it.
and
Because-
Jacqueline Britt's wardrobe. I mean,
Jacqueline Britz, yeah, our costume designer, she did a really great job of like sort of showing her descent through.
And she like covered up more of my body, and then the more descent happened, it was like showing more bones, and then Aldrich would like color that in. So it was like, yeah, very intentional, but
Oh
like
yes.
subtle way.
The
Yeah.
bone cracking. I'm cringing just thinking about it when the arm stretches and you hear the cracking. I don't want to give anything away. Ben, I've got one quick question, then I'll turn it back to you. This is for you, Maddie. So playing Kenzie Fit, what was it like playing a person who has a very strong persona, and then there are moments when she starts to crumble a little bit? What was it like pulling that off in this movie?
it was really fun. I have a lot of fun playing characters that are very opposite from me. I would like to think that hopefully no one in my real life thinks I'm such a B word. Can I say it? I don't know.
Sure, go for it.
I had a lot of fun because I mean, yeah, it's a really nice way to put it. She has a very strong persona, but Kenzie's confident. She's confident, and I think a lot of it's masked and put on, and I think that's like kind of really brilliant commentary on Matt and Alex's behalf of just like our society as a whole and how we like want to make people think that we are always okay and we're doing great and we're fine via social media. And it was really fun. And I really, really appreciated that throughout the movie, Kenzie kind of got to have the moment of vulnerability where the mask got to crack a little bit. I was really grateful for that moment because I was like, ooh, Kenzie gets like a full arc, and hopefully, no spoilers, but hopefully by the end of it, you like see her as a human and there's, no cheering.
A few flashes of humanity there going.
I actually said to Aaron before we started the interview, I was like, when I started watching it, I was like, oh, it's got an advert, and this was your first scene. I was like, it was really good acting. So I was like, this is a terrible advert, and I thought it was real. And I was like, well, it's obviously like come with the adverts, fair enough. But then it was a part of the movie. But I honestly thought it was a real advert. But I was like, this is quite a terrible advert.
Those were so
good acting.
fun.
Yes.
Those were so fun. Matt and Alex really like gave me free rein, and they were like, just be as like cringy and over the top as you possibly can. And I was like, bet, do it. Like, it was so fun. Alex, wasn't there an issue with like one of the streamers like thinking they were real and like that's why?
Yeah, that's one of our
me.
favorite stories is we released the movie on all platforms on the same day as you would, and we saw that it was going up on Apple and everything else, but it was not going up on Amazon, and we could not figure out why. Welcome Villain, our distributor, was like hounding them, being like, "What the fuck?" Because that's like the best, like one of the best ways to stream. Like that's one of the more popular streaming, especially for renting stuff. And it took them like a month to finally put us up, and they eventually revealed that the people who like screened the movies thought the advertisement was real, and they were like, you can't have advertisements in like paid content. So they were so thoroughly fooled by the advertisement, like the first ad, that they wouldn't let our movie be on the platform because they thought they were trying to sneak some shit through. And we had to explain to them that it was fully part of the movie, and they eventually acquiesced. So we're on Amazon Prime now, if that interests anyone listening out there.
Well, that's where I watched it, and when it says like ad loading, I thought, oh man, Amazon is really putting ads in movies now. And then it took me a second to realize
I
maybe
love
we should
You,
bleep that
you're
out.
gonna
It's
sign
fun.
up for CC.
We've gotten the most, yeah. Is like it's always like wives or girlfriends telling me that their partner stood up angrily and yelled at the television for for there being an advertisement. It's always the same story. It's some dude being like, "We paid for this."
Yes. Well, as it goes on,
Aaron,
you know that they're not real. Go ahead, Ben.
Aaron sent me a message saying he just signed up to some yoga app. So
Going on a retreat. But I love the first one. The first one seems real because it's another actor, right?
yeah, I
And
really
he's
did.
like, I was in the stock market or something for years, and now I drink this tea.
Yeah, that's very
Nicely done.
very
Nicely done.
intentionally based on a brand called Mudwater that has only continued to get more cringy. This guy has become his like I highly recommend going down the Mudwater YouTube channel. This guy takes himself so fucking seriously. It's so funny. And shout out to Mudwater. Still haven't
I'll check it
tasted
out.
it.
Shout out.
Interesting brand name.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maddie absolutely crushed
Yes.
that scene.
Yeah.
And actually Maddie first sort of came on our radar because she auditioned to play Anya. But when we watched her tape, we were like, this girl's got like an edge to her. Like I feel like she could really she really commanded the screen in a way that was like made me want to start exercising. And I was
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
it felt like I was being like sort of like gym dommed a little bit in the way that like, you know, that you seek out on like a Peloton. She had real Peloton energy. And we were
Wow.
like, we kind of think this girl's gonna be
Absolutely.
perfect. She's gonna be perfect for Kenzie. And she was. And she fucking killed it.
Yeah, it was really good. Well, I believed it. So
Peloton energy. I'm gonna put that on my
big Peloton energy.
big Peloton energy. Makes
Actually,
me want to work out.
I feel like I should go to the gym maybe after this. I have a question. There's one scene where it's really sort of trippy, and Sarah, your character is kind of lying on the floor, and in the background you see her walking through. You sort of see the evil spirit. I don't want to give away too much. What was it like filming that, editing that, bringing it all together? Because it's fantastic in the film. I guess Alex and Sarah, for both of you.
Yeah, I mean it was so fun to shoot just because I mean aside from stitching shots together, it's all very practical, you know. It's like we kind of just found like a locked off spot, and then we had Sarah kind of, you know, because it's supposed to be sort of like this like physical manifestation of all like the sort of facets of her being, you know, coming to life in this house, and it's like sort of like a drug trip, but sort of not. And Varasha sort of like entering her consciousness that way, and we just had like a lot of fun with it. And we had that like really nice like kind of narrow hallway And we basically sort of thought about like what would be all the facets of Anya's being, and we created a little playlist that Sarah can tell you about to sort of help her. Oh, she's got it locked. She's got it.
Funny.
She's got it ready to go, locked up. So we picked a song for each sort of emotional
character
aspect that she was going through. Sarah, you wanna take us through?
Okay.
the whole
Yeah.
playlist.
I don't remember like every version of Anya that we had, but yeah. Just go through the whole playlist. You want me to
Well,
say?
just pick some of your favorites, because I think
Okay.
there's
Okay, the fart sounds for 1000 fart sounds. That was for the community. That was for the like
forgot.
laughing version of Anya. And I would like listen to this playlist on the way to set every morning, and like the fart sounds would just
You put it
That's
on
the
there's
your
best.
1,000 of them.
1000 fart sounds.
Wow.
And
What's
then
the playtime on that? How
an
long is
hour.
that song?
It's an
Oh,
hour.
wow.
So I wouldn't listen to the whole hour.
That's
And
that's
Wow.
1,000 farts per hour for those of you at home trying to do the math.
And then Bloody Motherfucking Asshole by Martha Wainwright. That's another standout one on here. I think that was for
Yeah.
the angry one. And then WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I think that was the because we had one version where like Anya was trying to be Kenzie, and I think that was that one.
with pop.
But somebody else was like, no, it should have been Carly Rae. I was like, you know what? I'm sticking to WAP. Like, don't take this from me.
Oh, that's so cool.
But no, that
And
scene
then-
was like felt very theatrical because it was literally just locked off, and it wasn't like I would change every time I would come through. It wasn't just like, oh, the laughing version a couple times. It was like go by as the laughing version, then I would hit Aldrich, and Aldrich would like redo my makeup, and then I'd like go around the back and I'd do like another version, and then I'd come back and he'd change me again. So it really just felt like a theater piece for a moment. So it was like really fun.
Know that.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can't like see every change that he made, but like it just that also kind of allowed me to shift into the new spaces and energies. But it was like quick changes backstage. It was really fun.
Oh, that's amazing. The final product really shows it came together really nicely.
Definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of our favorite scenes to shoot. It was like this really like nice marriage of like fun technical challenges and like theatricality and farts, which is a crucial component of any filmmaking setup. Thousands of them.
Thousands
Well,
of
when a physical copy comes out of your film, I hope there's a playlist included as a special feature.
There's okay, well, we are putting out a Blu-ray with director's commentary.
Awesome.
And for those listening, we are also, I don't know if I can officially announce it yet, but we are going to be streaming exclusively on a very notable horror streamer next year.
Oh, nice.
Whose name I won't mention, but so you know, if you want to hold off until then and you already own said streaming app, you can watch it then.
Very exciting. I think I know what streaming at, but I won't say.
Yeah.
I won't even say what it rhymes with, but I have it.
Winking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cows have udders.
Oh, I was just going to say something like that, but
So yeah, and there's gonna be a Blu-ray with director's commentary. So if you're enjoying the sound of my voice right now, you're gonna love the director's commentary.
good to know.
I want nothing more than to watch a movie dubbed by you the entire time.
Oh, actually, you know, included in the Blu-ray is going to be a video that Matt and I shot of us playing Anya and Kenzie in my home, just as like a test.
That
And
I've got to
honestly,
see.
we did a better job than these two, so I think we should probably cast it ourselves.
yeah.
Probably so.
You should contact all the streaming sites and just switch it. Scrap it. Let them
Or you could do
switch
a
it.
sequel. It could be a sequel.
That is the
Part
sequel.
part two.
We're trying to figure out yeah, no spoilers, but we'd like everyone to be involved in the sequel. Even
Oh,
people
there is
who
a
are dead.
sequel.
So
Awesome.
well, hey, we don't know yet. Anybody out there who's craving a sequel and has some pocket change, just hit us up.
Let you know.
Yeah.
In fact, that was one of my
And
questions. I think you could do a sequel. Certainly leave it open-ended.
We have a whole sequel idea. We already have like a whole treatment and everything. So yeah, it's ready to go. We just need the
Of course.
moolah.
Yeah. Small
But I think it would
detail.
be really fun, and I think especially with like a little more money, because obviously this was a very low budget production. I think something that I've seen that people were kind of missing from this one was like a lot of the body horror elements that didn't get to be explored, which was obviously tough to do on a budget. But I think that there's a lot of fun stuff you could do with yoga and bodies twisting and doing all that crazy shit.
Bones cracking up. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's where the idea was born. I mean, it's such a natural sort of marriage of things like body horror and yoga. Sometimes you'll be in a pose in yoga and you'll be like, what, how does my body move this way? It's very strange.
How am I doing this?
Yes. Well, Ben, why don't you jump into the question?
I'd
We
like
do have
to
some
ask-
this or that we'll get to in a second. Go ahead.
I'd just like to ask Alex, did it change much from script to screen by the end, or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think both Maddie and Sarah like really put a lot of their own selves into it, and because the movie was originally like every scene was one long unbroken take, and then we watched the movie back and we're like, this is too long. And so some scenes sort of remained as they are, which I think like really helped build the tension coming off the scenes that are very like kind of vlog edited. But because we shot it like that, like every scene was sort of rehearsed like a stage play and blocked and choreographed like a stage play. And that meant a lot of rehearsal time with the girls and a lot of sort of like picking at the dialogue and tweaking it. And they brought a lot of like their own really great ideas to the dialogue. And yeah, I think that's the biggest ways that it changed. And I think especially like in Sarah's scenes where she's on her own, she's just like, we just let her loose, and she was just like, making all these little noises, and like a lot of the stuff that you see on screen is just them, doing their thing. So
Awesome.
can't take credit for all of it,
Cool.
but I will if you want me to.
Of course.
We
Yes.
really like most of the we didn't change much of the writing. Like we added our like body and like ad libs and stuff and yeah, like sounds and things, but the writing was so it was so good and it flowed so well. Like we really didn't have to do or didn't do that much to it. It just happened.
Just happened.
I also
Yes.
like you say you can't take credit, but I feel like you deserve a lot of credit because you and Matt were like probably among the most collaborative directors and people that I've like ever worked with. Like I really felt like I got to show up and be a part of like a team where my opinions and my ideas mattered rather than just, and not every set's like this, but rather than just like show up, say the lines, do what we tell you and leave. Like that's your job. Like I really felt like I got to be a part of something and that was really cool. So credit where credit is due. It wasn't like you rocked. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And also I have to say, like, just generally on behalf of like our whole cast and crew, like I think, all joking aside about like the sequel and wanting more money for the next one, like I think the beauty of the budget limitations we had was that we had a very small cast and crew, and we became, because of that, like it was really collaborative and we became really close. I mean, it was like 15 people total at any given time in this giant ass house. And it really became like a family very quickly. Like we all just like really gelled. There was no egos. It
So
was like,
fun.
yeah, it was just like a good vibe on set. Like it was like about as all I could have hoped for my first feature, you know, just like good energy, good people. And the limitations just sort of like kind of forced us all to be like resourceful and like really like clever and you know, required a lot of like ingenuity and like people like, you know, Aldrich like holding a fishing line and like pulling a door open like right after he had gotten done like doing someone's makeup. You know, it's like I called some of my friends in to like do like door slams and like pull things. You know, it was like an all hands on deck sort of thing, and everyone was really game. And I just think, you know, there is the dream of making movies for millions of dollars, but like I think you kind of lose a little bit of that magic of just the pure craft of it and the sort of scrappy, resourceful DIY-ness of it. And uh we just had the best time doing it with these people. They're amazing.
That's fantastic. And I think it shows, and I love that the house itself becomes a main character in the film. And what's interesting is you never see the exterior of the house, but you kind of, I don't know, I just think it was a really nice aspect of the movie. So nicely done there. Again, I do have one last question for Maddie and Sarah, actually, both of you. I want to know if you are yoga experts in real life, and if so, how did that lend itself to the film? Or if not, what did you have to do to learn yoga for this film?
We're actually both yoga teachers.
Oh my
And
God,
Sarah
look
has
at that. I had
a
no
very
idea.
yeah. I was actually so excited when I got the initial audition because I was like, wow, something where I can like bring my real self into this. But yeah, and I grew up in the theater as well, and I don't have an extensive dance background like Sarah does. I'm sure she'll tell you too, but I did grow up like dancing and moving and have since become a yoga teacher. And so yeah, I got to do that. So I was like, oh, cool, like a piece of my life that funds my acting career. I can bring into my acting career, which was really cool to marry those two
Awesome.
things.
Awesome.
Uh, yeah, no, I have been dancing like my whole life. Grew up in musical theater and did competition dance and everything. And so yoga is kind of always a part of that. I am a certified yoga teacher and I do teach that, but not as much as I teach dance. So like Maddie in real life is more of the like official yoga teacher than I am. I'm like a woohoo, like let's figure it out.
Her dance classes are awesome. If you ever take one of her dance classes, it's a
She is an unbelievable teacher. She is like truly just like she makes it so fun.
I've never felt so hot and alive than when I'm
That is
Truly.
literally the goal. That is the point.
Truly.
Yeah. Yeah, I teach dance and like voice and movement classes, and I was very much like finding my voice as a private teacher at the time, like during the pandemic, at the time that I was like auditioning for this and then booked it. So it was kind of like a weird parallel, and I was going through like trying to figure out how I wanted to promote myself, if I wanted to promote myself, like how I talked about what I taught, how uncomfortable it is to talk about those things on social media and all of that, and how cringy it feels to promote yourself and all of that. So it was a parallel. But yeah, I always say for the prep of this film, like my life was the prep of this film. Like my parents had me in dance class since I was 2, and I have known how to work with my body and use my body, and dance is like my acting training forever and always. So yeah, without that, I don't think I would have known how to approach this in the same way or have had the same tools. So yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, that's awesome. The stars aligned, your backgrounds. It's like you were meant to be in this film. So fantastic. Well, let's see. Yes, let's see. We have some this or that questions. So at the end of our videos, we always ask our guests some this or that questions, which are usually a lot of fun. Sometimes I say that, then they're not. Actually, I joke. They've always been a good time. So we basically just ask you 2 things, pretty straightforward, and just whatever you prefer over the other is what you blurt out. So I'll go first. Ben, you've got the list, right?
Yep.
Yep.
This
Okay.
time.
The first one I've got is Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal.
I'm going Blair Witch. that last shot just fucking kills me.
Yes. Yeah. I love them both. So go ahead, man.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Oh, everybody said crunchy. Oh, so cool.
I used
It's
to be
gotta
a
be
creamy girl, but
crunchy.
now I'm crunchy.
Okay. Let's see. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
I'm up all night. Whoo, whoo.
Yeah, night.
Wow. Sarah just went to a dark place in her mind. That question
It's existential.
really fucked her up. I wasn't expecting
Yeah,
that. Damn.
I could see that. Yes.
Time travel to the past or the future?
Future.
Past, for sure.
Fast. I'm not sure I want to know what's coming.
You don't want to know what's coming. Yeah.
I want to go back there.
Full ignorance.
Go back there.
Okay. Let's see. Norman Bates or Hannibal Lecter?
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal.
Um,
Norman Bates is like kind of
Hannibal.
like Norman Bates is like the original incel.
Mhm.
He's like he would be on Reddit nowadays. Or 4chan. He'd be like, you guys should come to my hotel and meet my mom.
Yeah. No questions asked.
Hannibal is classy.
Telekinesis or telepathy?
Telekinesis is like moving things with your mind, and telepathic is
Yes.
like what? Reading
Yes.
your mind?
Like Carrie
Oh.
White. Yeah.
I like telekinesis. I don't want to know what people are
Telekinesis. Yeah, I don't want to know what people are thinking about me. Can't handle it.
already hypervigilant enough. I don't need more of
Yes.
that.
Yes. Works really
Boundaries
well
aren't strong enough to block it out. I would want to know, but then I would be mad about it.
Yeah, it would be too chaotic.
But if I could like bring my snack to myself without getting up, excellent.
Oh, dream.
So
Yeah,
many
I was gonna say
possibilities.
telepathy, but I think I have to go telekinesis because I would be like it would just be like one person being like, oh, his hairline's receding, and I'd be like, okay, no, I'm good. I'm done.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I would crumble. I'd crumble.
All right. This one we thought was funny. Cardio or strength training?
Strength. Don't make me run.
Cardio. And honestly, swimming, because swimming is both cardio and strength training. Shout out swimming.
It's true.
And you
That's
don't.
what I like if I'm just working out, it's strength because I don't like running or anything, but it's like cardio because it's dance. Dance is my preferred way of working out. So I guess that's kind of both too. It's kind of right. It's a little
A
bit.
mixture. Yeah.
Yeah,
fair
in this
enough.
game called This or That, we chose neither this nor that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that so cute of us?
I hate making decisions. This is my least favorite.
This, that, or both. Yes. You're not alone. We've got a few more. Ben, over to you, man.
Werewolves or vampires?
What was that?
Werewolves or vampires?
Oh.
I gotta fuck with a werewolf. I kind of feel like a werewolf. I'm a very hairy person, so I think that's me. Yeah.
Werewolf. I was always Team Jacob.
Hmm.
Sorry, controversial, but
Bella, where have you been, Loca?
Werewolves. I think I would love to just like run around hairy and naked at night and scream at
And then
Yeah,
go back
that's
to yourself
kind
the
of
next day.
compulsive about it too, that it's very
Yeah.
freeing, where it's just sort of like, I never had a choice. Sorry. Like, I'm sorry I ran around and killed your grandfather. But the moon. Oops.
Really can't help it.
Here we go.
It's like, sorry. Whereas vampires, I feel like they're like, it's like you can just chill on like a Capri Sun of blood, it's like just like relax.
yeah, it's more of a choice to suck someone's blood. You can't really
Yes.
justify it. Yeah,
That's true.
You're right.
Can't control the full moon.
I'd rather not be held accountable.
Black it out.
Let's see, city or beach vacation?
Beach.
Beach. Yeah.
Beach. Yeah.
I love the ocean.
Cool.
Good choice.
True crime or based on a true story? That's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, no, but I was thinking like a true crime show versus like a movie that's based on a true story.
Oh.
I pick based on a true story. True crime freaks me out. I'm like, that's too real. Could happen to me. Based on a true story is like still watching someone else's story.
Yes.
I don't know.
I
Can't
think
hang with true crime.
I'm just gonna go with like what I get most sucked into, and I get most sucked into true crime more than based. I love a based on the true story, but I get like dialed in, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
true crime is honestly like sticks a little closer to the truth. To answer
Mhm.
Ben's question, I feel like based on a true story can kind of like go off like that sort of like is a murky sort of
Yeah.
line that they draw where they're sort of like, yeah, it's based on a true story and it can really be anything. Whereas true crime, I feel like is interested in the
Yeah.
details, you know?
That's true. I feel like true crime is
Mm.
very like it's like pretty tragic always. Based on a true story could still be a happy story.
Yeah, like
That's
what's
true.
the movie where Octavia Spencer and the women like help the rocket go
Hidden
into space?
Figures.
Hidden Figures. And you're like, yes,
Yes.
like wow, what a cool true story. And then like you read about it and it's like none of these people are real. No one liked each other. No one, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, like what, just why? And then true crime is just
Yes.
yeah, this was fucked up, and it was fucked up,
True.
and here are the details of how
It's
fucked
more
up it was. And
factual
yeah,
than
they're
an
just they're like,
interpretation
this
of
is the truth.
the
Like
truth.
it's
Yeah.
gross and bad.
It's gross
Yeah.
and it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna-
let's move on to the very last one. Jaws or Halloween 78?
Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah, I love Jaws.
Oh, Jaws.
And
A shark.
And
It's
Ben
like,
always
you know.
influences this one with his background.
All right. Yeah.
So we always ask that because
I-
Jaws is Ben's favorite movie and Halloween is my favorite movie. So
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's where the divide. I mean,
No,
a
you're
shark,
fine.
you just don't
No
know
one's
what a
actually
shark's gonna do.
selected Halloween before. So
Mm.
exactly.
Wow. Oh,
One of
my
these
God.
times, man. One of these times.
I'm
Jaws
just like a sucker.
impacted me for like, sorry, Maddie, go.
Oh my God. Inconsequential. I was just saying I am a sucker for sharks and dinosaurs. That's it.
Mhm, mhm.
Love it.
Fair enough.
Love it.
I've learned to accept it. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. Mind, Body, Spirit streaming on Amazon and a few other platforms, and coming soon to one of the biggest horror streaming services that we can't say the name. I guess lastly, can you tell us a little bit about any upcoming new projects you're working on, and how can folks find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find our official account on Instagram at Mind Body Spirit Film.
Mhm.
Currently, Matt Miranda and I are writing another feature script that we're hoping we can get some funding for. That will involve the two lovely ladies that you were speaking with today. So hopefully that can happen sooner rather than later for all of our sakes. I think we all want to kind of get back in the lab. And yeah, don't follow my personal account. You don't want to see it. And yeah, I'll kick it to them.
You've been warned. Go ahead.
No, just one actually. I've got one question because you all seem to have such a good time making this movie, and you have said you'd love to make a sequel. But if there was any other franchise you could all work on together, what would it be?
Oh, that's a
An
great question.
existing franchise.
Don't mind. Whatever you feel.
Damn. What's something that we all like really love? I feel like The Craft or something. Like, is there another Craft? Can we squeeze another Craft movie out? Do you know The Craft, Maddie? Have you ever seen it?
No.
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know
seen
it.
it, Sarah? God damn,
Never
wake
seen
I
it,
have
but
it
listen,
somewhere behind me.
Alex, I would ride with you to the ends of the earth. So whatever you want, maybe.
It's very witchy. I don't know. If we could do a franchise, Mind Body Spirit too.
Answer.
The musical.
The
Oh
musical.
yeah, that's
The
right.
musical.
Normally I would say Alien, but Fede Alvarez absolutely smashed Romulus. So I feel like Yeah, I feel like he really kind of put his mark on that. I don't know. That's a great question.
Bring back
Um,
Jaws, but with yoga.
Not Jaws with yoga.
Jaws, but with yoga. Yeah, I mean,
A beach
obviously,
yoga with sharks.
perfect. A perfect fit.
I think Ben just gave you some really good ideas to work with.
I think so. The credit.
Yeah, Ben, you're gonna get residuals from Jaws meets yoga.
Nice one. I'm sorry.
Count me in. Count me in.
Yeah, definitely. Bit more
Um,
mirth.
Before we wrap up, though, Sarah and Maddie, do you want to say how folks can find you on social media? It's a great question, Ben, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you can find my personal at Sarah J. Bartholomew and my dance class stuff at Sparkle Pop Dance.
Well, Sparkle Pop, if you're in LA or Austin, usually Austin, follow Sparkle Pop Dance. You're gonna want to be a part of that. I'm on Instagram at Maddie_Brady, spelled like bread with a Y.
Cool.
She's got these like helpful tips locked in. Like Brady likes a bunch, bread with a Y. We're
It's
gonna make
actually
this
my
shirt.
tagline.
That's the first time I knew that it
It's
was
good.
spelled like
good.
Brady Bunch. I didn't know that, Maddie. I'm so sorry. I really
Oh,
didn't.
that's okay.
How
No,
did
it's
I
okay.
guess I don't know.
You're not the first, and you won't be the last.
That's why we brought you all together.
Nice.
Ben, do you want to do the closing?
Yeah, go over to Instagram, follow us at A&B Horror Movies over there. If you already like and subscribe our channel, thank you very much. If you don't, please like and subscribe because it helps us. And cheers for watching. And thank you to all you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.